Endorphin.es just released their new versions of the Two of Cups, a 6 HP sample player that improves on the old version on several fronts. In a nutshell, the Two of Cups is a 2-channel sample player with CV control over pitch and sample selection, as well as manual per-channel control over sample length, volume, pitch, or looping behavior. As a duophonic sampler in 6 HP, the Two of Cups is great for systems that don't have the space for a fully dedicated sampler, but still want to have the flexibility to trigger samples every now and then. Since you have CV control over sample selection and you can select between 32 samples per voice, it is possible for the Two of Cups to almost sound like a full drum machine with proper sequencing. In this example, all sounds you hear are coming from the Two of Cups, switching between samples, but I'm running both channels through an Endorphin.es Ghost to give me some distortion to glue it all together. So of course the Two of Cups has a 1 volt per octave input, so you can play your samples chromatically, but you can also experiment with this 1 volt per octave input by sending it signals in the audio range. So in this example I just have this kick drum, and if I'm sending a sine wave from my Godspeed oscillator, you can hear how the timbre changes, and depending on what kind of settings I have on my oscillator, I have a bit of a fine control over the timbre of my resulting samples. Most often using this 1 volt per octave input for frequency modulation results in quite a noisy spectrum, as you can hear in this example. When I first started making my Eurorack case, I was actually considering the old Two of Cups to gain access to those 909 and 808 samples. And I'm happy to report that this works pretty well. Especially the 12-bit output of the Two of Cups gives any samples a bit of an old school crunchy vibe, quite similar to how, say, the 909 hi-hats get their flavor. On top of that, the Two of Cups comes with a variety of samples already included, which helps you kickstart your sound ideas. I think the Two of Cups works especially well when expanding a drum rack. So if you already have, say, an analog kick drum and an analog snare, the Two of Cups can stand in for a variety of sounds, like in this case, the hi-hats. But of course nobody's stopping you layering something crazy over your kicks and snares using the Two of Cups. So while it was originally released in 2021, this new version improves on the initial design by moving the SD card reader to the front, by incorporating MIDI control, and by switching to a 2 LED setup that makes it more clear what mode you're in. Moving the SD card to the front makes it easy to swap out samples on the fly, and in this example here I've rendered out different drum loops for voice 1 and different synth layers for voice 2 to be able to recombine them in different ways until I find the combinations I like. So the new Two of Cups also has a MIDI input, which makes it an interesting option if you're mainly using MIDI to connect your music equipment. Just with a MIDI cable, I can already play all of my samples chromatically. I've set up my Two of Cups so that the velocity of my key press controls the volume of the sample, but I could also set it up so it controls which sample is being played. Because the new Godspeed also has MIDI in and MIDI through, you can actually set up a whole chain ending with a Two of Cups. So if I wanted to add, say, a synthesis layer to my samples, I can do so easily by just connecting them up in a row and tuning them correctly. So in summary, I really like this new version of the Two of Cups. I particularly like the 2 LED setup to show me which mode I'm in, which shows me immediately what the module is doing. Having the SD card in front is really great to change out samples much faster, and I actually would wish that their other module, the Queen of Pentacles, includes both of these upgrades eventually in the future. To decide if this module is for you, as I said, if you already have a sampler in your system, this module is probably not offering anything new, but if you're looking for a cheapish way to get samples into your system and only 6 HP, or if you look at adding more sample capabilities to your current setup, I can't think of too many alternatives to the Two of Cups. So I hope this video was useful to you. As always, many thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next video.